Hello dolls, and welcome back to another video. Welcome to our daughter's 1960s inspired nursery. I built her this little nursery nook because we don't have that much space, but we're saving up for a house, so we really didn't want it to move. And with our son, we did the same thing. My son slept in our bed for almost a year as well, and it went really well. I feel like babies, especially newborns, don't really need that much, but I wanted her to have a little nook that was just for her, and so I decided to go with this little area in our bedroom so that it is very close by. And I always see videos online of people doing nurseries for their children that cost several thousands of dollars and are so over the top, and so I just wanted to show you that it really doesn't need that much to build a nice and beautiful nursery. I started with this changing table that I had built for my son. If you want to see the video on how I did that, I'm gonna link that here for you. But now let me show you how I created my daughter's 1960s inspired nursery. So this is the starting point. This is an area in our bedroom that we don't really use. It has a big mirror, but because the lighting is quite bad in that corner, it's always very backlit. I don't ever really use it, and so I felt like this corner would be perfect for a cozy little nursery. This used to be a thing that went into like a little cabinet that holds a sewing machine, and I used to use it. Oh, I desperately need to clean this. Hasn't been used in a while, for like diaper things and like changing things you need. So my son is about to be 2.5 this fall, and he is pretty much fully potty trained right now. I just wanted to potty train him for like the day, or I don't even want to say train, because I just took off his diaper and was like, buddy, we're gonna go to the toilet every day, several times a day. I can recommend you to do this when you're pregnant, because I feel like I'm running to the toilet every 30 minutes, so I always took him along, and like after a week he was like telling me when he needed to go, and I always assumed that it would take him longer to do the nights, but I don't know how, but he just decided that he doesn't want to use a diaper anymore, so he doesn't need the changing table anymore, so it hasn't been used in a little while. But yeah, so that's why we were able to put it here, and that's why it's a little dusty, because it hasn't been used in a minute. Unfortunately, because the mirror was here, it does have some stains, so I want to put something here. And then this is where the mirror was connected to the wall, so maybe we should also take care of that. What I was just thinking, I usually had some clothes hanging out here, and then this is my wedding bouquet, but I was just thinking, because this kind of comes out over here, so maybe I could put like a little mobile or something up there. That might be cute. And then I also want to work on this wall. Obviously, I'm thinking about keeping this thing there. It was supposed to hold jewelry. I at some point stopped reorganizing my jewelry in there and just put it over here with like all of my other jewelry. But now I'm thinking I could put like some children's stuff in there. And then I have my wonderful Moe a Chardin mirror here, which I also don't think is like the best as child decor, so we'll see. But I'm gonna start by just stacking the drawers and all of this. Oh, and also this we got from IKEA. It's just a classic mat, and then we got 2 of these things to put on top, and then we also usually put, at least when my son was a baby, we used to put these kind of on top. These are also still from my mother-in-law, so these are little blankets and like sheets that even have like crocheted corners. It's so pretty, and it just goes to show you that if you have stuff that's good quality, you can use it for hundreds of children, I believe.
I know you so well, a love like dominoes, covered head to toe, yet concealed, got me with your spell.
So this is newborn sizes and like really small sizes, and this is everything that's like a little bigger, besides these jackets which just didn't fit in there anymore. As said, there's also still more, it's just in the wash, so because it kind of like smelled a little funky. Do you know that like attic smell? So I decided to just kind of rewash a couple of things, but this is already washed, and these are newborn pieces. These are all pajamas, and then these are like little shirts and things to put on top. These are bodies. Then we have a couple of knitted jackets. These are all pants and like overalls. These are short overalls, and like little play suits and some small dresses.
Left open for the mass. All things are yet to pass.
Okay, so I have it all set up. I put the drawers back in, and then I have this. You get this gifted in our hospital when giving birth, so I'm assuming we're gonna get a new one. However, these are really cool. These are sleeping bags, and they have this bit that you can put on and then kind of like do this so that the baby's wrapped nice and tight, and our son really loved this. So I'm glad that we now have a second one. I would show you from the front, but it does show the name of our hospital and I don't want to share that. So it's good to have a second pair. I just realized that I thought we still had like all the creams and lotions, but most of them are expired, so I got rid of pretty much all of those, unfortunately, which just made me realize that we had, and we didn't really buy a lot of lotion, but for some reason our son did not go through that even in like 2 years. So see what I can buy and come up with. But so far, this is the setup. And now the next thing that I want to do is try to figure out if I can fill this thing with like little knickknacks, because I feel like that would be a cute decor thing.
But I will wait, forever wait. I'll wait as long as you would like. I'll stay with you all through the night. You show me wrong and show me right as rain. I will wait, forever wait with you. Through the winter, hanging on, we can weather through the storm.
Okay dolls, it is the next day. Yesterday we did a little bit of shopping, so I can finally fill this bin. So far in here is this little hairbrush. We used it with my son. It's lovely. I don't even think it does anything because it is so soft, but it does kind of like, for at least for my son, it really calmed him to just get his hair brushed. So this is gonna go in there. And then this that we still had, we got this gifted like a year ago or so, but it is still good and it's also still sealed. And then I do have a couple of these like tiny ones that I got gifted somewhere. They're also all still good, so I'm just gonna stock these in here. However, I don't know whether we're gonna end up using them. Can't tell you whether they're good. However, here are my recommendations for the best baby products. I know everyone loves the Veleda skin food. It's so big everywhere right now. And this brand actually is from like around the corner here. So it's like a couple towns over. And I grew up using this a whole lot. And their baby line is incredible. So I got 2 of their baby creams. One is a nourishing cream, which I got the big thing of because this is what we definitely are going to use a lot. And then one is just a classic diaper cream. Oh wow, they're changing the way that they're packaging things right now. Used to all look more like this, and that's looking like this apparently. But yeah, no, I just got them yesterday, so they're good until 2027. And then usually from the same brand, I get this kind of cream. However, they were out of it, so I just got this one from Ayurveda, which is also nature, like full-on organic. That's just important to me because this is it's called Wind- und Wettercreme, which translates to wind and weather lotion. And basically, the whole idea is that, you know how fat gives you like a layer of protection? So when it's really cold out, you're supposed to put this on your baby's face so that the cold stays away from them. So definitely gonna get this because it's about to get quite cold here. Yeah, so this is all of that. Gonna load that over in a minute. I also found a couple of toys that I don't think my son really uses anymore. This is actually from me when I was a kid. It's a little, it's been through some things. So I need to stitch this up once again. I did it before for my son and he really loved it. And then my son also one day while we were at IKEA years ago picked out this. Kind of does the same thing. And then we also have this little guy, which I was a little on the fence about whether I wanted to give this on to our daughter, because this was the first, last, and only thing we bought for our daughter who passed away. But I don't know, I kind of feel like it's nice to still hand things down, and it does have a meaning. So she's gonna have 3 rattly toys. One from my son, one from her sister, and one from me. That's quite lovely. My husband doesn't really have, like, his parents, they didn't really hold on to that many baby things besides like the furniture and the clothes, but no real like toys like that. I think they passed them on and then they're just lost somewhere. They, however, have like the most insane collection of Lego and everything, so my son loves to go over there now. However, then we went to IKEA. Well, first I did a little bit of snooping upstairs to look for some decor, and I think I'm gonna hang this somewhere as well. It's like a little watercolor painting. I quite like it. But while we were at IKEA, I picked up 2 things because we have a mobile, which is on the bed, which my husband actually finished. So I'm gonna bring that in a minute. But they had this one, which I thought was so sweet because it is kind of like knitted round animals. There's like a little puppy and a cat. I don't know. Something about it just made me think we need it. So let me cut off this and then we can hang it. I was planning on making her something. But I just don't think I have the time left, and I would much rather have this all be done and set up in time. And I really like this. It's sweet. I'm not the biggest fan of IKEA generally, but I have to say every now and then they have some cool pieces. Like when we saw this, my son was so excited, and it's a 2-pack, so maybe one we'll put in his room. My son is such a big lover of fruit and vegetables right now, not even particularly of eating them, just like looking at them and talking about fruit and veggies and playing like grocery shopping with fruit and veggies. And his favorite thing ever are apples. He's so obsessed with apples because there are a lot of apple trees around here and now everywhere. Obviously there are apples, and when we're on a walk he will always want an apple, and he even eats the ones that are so tiny and sour. Like, they're all good to eat, but there are certain kind of apples around here that you usually more use for baking because they're so sour. He doesn't care. But I found this and I thought it had such a nice little retro touch to it, and as said, it's a 2-pack, so there's one in the back as well. I think we're gonna use the one with the 6 for here, and then maybe the one with the 1 for my son, because he just got really excited. I told him we need to pick something for baby girl, and I was actually thinking that we were just gonna get frames and then I could frame something, but he was so in love with these apples, and I do really like them too. So let's unpack them. Oh, also I think that this was 15 bucks, and then the mobile was like maybe 10. Wasn't that expensive. So let's see. Oh, okay, you have to take them out, I think, because there's still some sort of film on it. Let's see. Yep, you have to peel the front layer and the back layer, maybe? Possibly. I think it's on the entire thing. So let's see. Usually I never get picture frames new, but I just don't have the energy to thrift anymore, because to thrift I have to drive a little further. We drove quite far yesterday, but it was because we needed to go there anyway. Yep, so that is the print. Oh, it's lovely. What does it say? Oh, it's just the publishing rights. Okay. Haven't done this in a while. When I was still working in props, we got loads and loads of picture frames at IKEA for every single project. because you're always missing something, and a picture frame can always fill like a blank space. They used to have glass picture frames as well, like where the shield was an actual glass thing. However, I don't even think it is bad that they decided to change it to plastic, because it makes the whole thing lighter, which, depending on what kind of wall you have, can be quite the blessing. Trying not to touch it everywhere so that I don't have to clean it. That might not work. Should have probably done this at a table. That might have made it easier. I'm gonna get this done, and then last order of action today is to pack all the bags, and I have everything prepped. Okay, where's the top now? Like this. I'm so excited. I feel like this is gonna add such a nice little pop of color, and it's gonna cover up those ugly marks that the mirror unfortunately left on the wall, which I know I should just paint over them, but I don't have the energy in me right now. My husband's working overnight, so there's a lot going on right now, but it's okay. Okay, so let me pull this over, do the last bit of decorating, and then I'm gonna bring in the bed and just show you everything. I'm so excited.
I can see you there from a mile away, looking down upon all the flowers today blending in. You are a flower girl. I can't tell apart, but I'd pick you either way.
So while I was doing all of this, my husband built the crib. It's so beautiful. It's still a little damp, and I intentionally put it up there while it is a little damp. I'm even making it a little more damp right now, just with some water so that it straightens out a little more. But this is the crib that we used with our son too. My husband slept in this, his mom slept in this. So you can definitely see that's water, but like, it's not in perfect condition. There are some stains like down here. I was not able to get these out while washing, but I think it's okay. I love it. And then there's this little mobile that I love. Yeah, we're all ready to go. Also, number one tip, if you want some sort of blanket for your child, but you don't want to go all out, this, my mother-in-law told me, and I think she got it from her mom. This is just a big pillow. These pillows are really like the norm in Germany, I almost want to say. A lot of people have these huge pillows. I love it because you can kind of like fold it and use it as you like. And this one is feathers, so it's very, very light. And it's great. You can just put your child under that. Of course not when you're not in attendance. Like, I'm not gonna leave her alone with a blanket. She's gonna wear sleep sacks most of the times. But I'm just gonna put this in here because with my son, at least sometimes during the day when I was awake and very well in attendance, I would put him under this because it's just a little warmer. But let me pull you in and show you all the details. Welcome to the final step of baby prep. Let's pack all the bags and everything. Starting with this bag, I think. So I splurged. You know, I usually buy everything secondhand. I use everything up. But with my son, wait, I can't even show you this. With my son, I used this as a diaper bag. It's a little dusty, I'm sorry, that's why this is here. But this was my diaper bag with my son. No compartments. It's definitely falling apart because I've had this for several years, over 10 years at least. traveled with it high and low. It doesn't really work that good as a diaper bag. I just really love it. It's beautiful. But I always told myself, next baby, I'm gonna get a proper bag. However, I didn't want to get like a classic diaper bag because I feel like there's no use in those because you use them for a couple of months and then you don't really use them again. So I decided to just splurge on this one. I love Orla Kelly. They're one of my favorite I don't want to say vintage inspired brands. It's just the way that they do patterns and everything. I worked with them before. They actually sent me my favorite purse. So this is from them. But they recently had a sale, so I decided to get this bag. And I got it for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's ginormous. A lot of stuff fits in here. Secondly, you can close it with a clip. And third and most important, it does have hooks here, so I can get something to put it on my stroller. This is the bag, and I want to use this not as like my actual hospital bag, but as my giving birth bag. My midwife actually recommended me this. She was like, pack 2 bags. Use one bag that you're gonna take to the room with you with all the clothes and everything, and then one bag with stuff that you want to have accessible while giving birth. So let me show you what I want to bring for the process of giving birth. This might be super random, but when I gave birth to my son, I was wearing this shirt, and it wasn't intended. I was just wearing it that day when we left to go to the hospital in the middle of the night. I just threw this on, but it was so great because it felt like a piece of me, and it's still, they usually want you to wear something that you can completely unbutton. So I'm just gonna bring this again, and maybe I will wear it again. You never know, I guess. Then also for giving birth, I'm gonna bring a hair clip and a hair tie, because I don't know, sometimes I'm iffy about my hair. I feel like it's good to have something to pull it out of your face. Next, this is most importantly, this is all of our documents. So this is what you get when you're pregnant. This one is this pregnancy. This is my past pregnancies. I'm just gonna take it with me just in case they need to look something up. This is my international certificates of vaccination. Might as well bring that because I don't know how other countries handle it, but here you get this thing when you're born and you're just supposed to like hold on to it, and it's made of like the flimsiest paper. So yeah, you can see my mom at one point try to like fix it because it's definitely a little broken. And then let me hold this so that you don't see where we live, but this is what you get when you're married. So it has my birth certificate, my husband's, my son's, so everything legal can be done with this. Okay, we're gonna bring that. Next up, when I gave birth to my son, for some reason I had the driest skin and like the driest lips, and it really bothered me. So I'm gonna bring my hand lotion and some lip balm. Honestly, I think it's just about bringing whatever makes you feel good about yourself. So this might be a very random selection to you. However, to me, this feels like a good selection of things. Next up, this might be the most important part. So when I gave birth to my son, I brought a lot of snacks. I didn't eat anything because I was so sick. I just threw up the entire time, basically. However, I felt like I just want to keep it safe this time. So we're gonna bring snacks again. Here's what I think I might want. Some mints. And this is not gum because I get sick from chewing gum. So we're gonna bring some mints. I'm gonna bring some cookies in case I want something sweet, because usually I'm a very sweet person. Like, I love sweets. I don't know if I'm gonna want these, but you better have something. This is my opinion. I'm better gonna have it and not use it instead of not using it and then wanting to have had it there. Because I felt so sick last time, I was like, I think I need something neutral. So I'm gonna bring those snacks. They're pretty much unseasoned things to just chew on if I feel like I'm getting sick because I haven't eaten. And then last but not least, this is like a very classic thing that you drink here when you're low on iron. I've been low on iron this entire pregnancy and I cannot get it up again. And I feel like this always gives me like a little boost. So we're gonna bring this as well. And then I have to say, I feel like that's all I'm gonna need for the giving birth part. I might end up throwing some more things in there. I just truly don't know yet, if I'm gonna be honest. Now for what I'm actually gonna bring to the hospital. So our hospital provides a lot of things. For example, they provide clothes for the baby, which is perfect. So the way it works is you give birth, they put your baby, I mean, if you want to, you don't have to do this, but I loved it with my son. They put the baby in hospital clothes, and it's like very sweet little looks that they just have. And the idea is that if your baby throws up or something gets on it, which happens all day, every day with a newborn, you can just toss them in the wash and they will wash it. Like there's a bin in your room that's designated for dirty laundry. You just put it in there, they wash it, and you have like this unlimited amount of baby clothes so that you don't have to take care of it. I'm planning on staying 3 days post-birth. That's kind of like the thing that you do. And at first I was a little hesitant because I was like, what about Teddy? He's gonna be not alone, but like with my husband for 3 days. However, because this baby is not my first baby, I wanted to take these 3 days in the hospital because I feel like it's the only time I'll ever be alone with this baby. So I want 3 days to solely focus on her, and then the craziness of life with a toddler comes back in. So I'm just gonna bring 1 or 2 little outfits because we might take some pictures there. Oh, actually, in this giving birth bag, the one thing that is missing is my camera. I'm gonna bring a Polaroid, some sort of camera, to just take some pictures because we did that with my son and I cherish these pictures so much. But we might do baby photos there because last time they offered it and it was great because you don't have to go anywhere to have a picture. So I'm gonna bring this little jacket. My son chose this look in part, so you know what he says goes. This tiny little bodysuit. We're gonna bring this little overall. I don't know the weather, so I'm just gonna bring a couple of options. This little, it's like a thinner jacket, and then also some socks. I feel like that's it. And then you saw one of the, like the jacket came with a little crocheted bonnet. However, if it is too hot for this, I'm also just gonna bring like a classic cotton bonnet just in case. All right, one more thing for the baby that I'm gonna bring is this. We recently got this for her because it's gonna be quite cold. So depending on just what the weather is gonna be like, if we want to go outside, whatever, I'm just gonna bring her this nice little cozy suit. Also maybe to bring her home in. I haven't fully figured that out yet. And then finally, I know some people are very anti. I had no real opinion on it with my son, but I just have to say my son never used one when he was that little. And it really bothered me. I don't want to say bothered, but I was breastfeeding him up to 22 hours a day. It was crazy because he just constantly wanted to self-soothe. And so at one point I was just like, he needs to use some dummies. It's gonna be fine. And it was quite the process to get him used to it. So this time I'm not taking chances. I'm bringing them to the hospital and I'm just gonna see if she's a baby like he was, who just wants to self-soothe a lot by sucking on something. We're gonna use these. It's okay. My dentist always says if you get them weaned before 3, it's gonna be okay, and we're in the process of weaning my son. He's not even 2.5 yet, so I think I'm gonna be fine. Next up, for myself, I am bringing these. These are just little liners that go in your bra because you usually leak a lot of milk in the beginning. With my son, I really wanted to use the reusable ones that are like made from cotton. It never worked for me because I was just leaking so much milk that everything was constantly wet and I felt so uncomfortable. It was such a gross feeling. So at some point I started to use these, and this time I'm just gonna start from the beginning with those. I don't like that they're disposable, but there's only so much you can do. Speaking of breastfeeding, I'm gonna bring some nursing bras. I know people have different opinions on what they like. I can show you what I like. I have those vintage ones and I do like them as well, but just like feeling wise, what I like the most is one with a cup. I do like it if this doesn't have to be this way, like a layer of fabric would have been fine with me, but I had a hard time finding anything. So I like the ones that just unhook like this and then you're good to go. I know some people like the ones that are more like sports bras. I don't know, I want a proper bra. It's just the way that I've always been. It makes me feel the best about myself. So Gonna bring some of those, kind of like self-care related. I'm gonna bring a toothbrush, obviously, it's just in the other room. And I got a lot of minis because I didn't want it to bring that big of a bag. However, I'm gonna use them up. Usually I don't like them because it's so much waste, but I feel like once every couple of years you can do something like this. So a little thingy of toothpaste, some shampoo and conditioner. I know some people might say that this isn't where your priorities should be after giving birth, but I wholeheartedly believe that you should feel your best. And if something like a shower makes you feel good about yourself, knock yourself out. That's my opinion here. Something to wash my face with, some face lotion, a deodorant. With all of those, I make sure that they don't have a scent or like a very, very vast scent that you almost can take in. This is the deodorant I've been using for years. I really like it. It's just important to me because you're not supposed to wear perfume or like anything that is very high with like highly perfumed around a newborn. So this is great. And then on the same note, I'm a sucker for dry shampoo. If you have bangs, I feel like you might be the same. So I got one that is sensitive without any perfume, just to be sure that I can kind of like do the bottom line of self-care. Gonna bring a brush. I want to pack my big brush just in case I forget. Might as well take this. Also, my husband's gonna come in every day and visit, so he can bring me things. It's just if in the minute I need a brush, better have this than nothing. And a hairband, because if I want to wash my face, I need something to pull the bangs back with. Next up, I'm gonna bring this. This is a carrier. I like the half buckle kind. I got this one on Vinted. It's been phenomenal with my son. I don't know if I'm gonna use it, but as said, might as well just bring whatever you think you might use. If you don't use it, you just carry it back home again. It's fine. And then obviously I need something to wear as well, which I haven't fully figured out, but I'm also doing crazy tons of laundry right now, so just gonna pick something once that is fully run. So my mantra with like postpartum clothes is everything that you can unbutton is great. Everything that you just have access to breastfeed in. So I'm gonna bring this, which is like this little robe nighty thing that always makes me feel very put together, although it's just a robe, and it's also low cut, so I think I'll be able to breastfeed. And then I'm probably gonna do some sort of cardigan, because it's also really helpful for that. My hospital, they will like bring some shoes to just wear down the hallway, so I'm just gonna bring those. These are not proper like indoor shoe. I cleaned them to make sure that I don't dirty the entire thing, but yeah, gonna bring those. And now this is wild because I really don't know if I'm gonna use it, but I'm gonna bring a book, and I'm also gonna bring my knitting stuff because maybe I want to do it. Maybe I'm up because with my son post-birth I had a lot of insomnia, so maybe I'll like that. Same reason, I'm gonna bring some headphones, which I really don't know if I'm ever gonna use. And then last but not least, the category of things that I want to use postpartum at home. Just to kind of like roll this all in. It's not much, just a couple of things. Don't think I have to say anything about these. Diapers. With my son, I used like 5 of them, and then I was okay, I was over it. I didn't really love it, but I liked them for the nighttime. Next up, some pads, because when the bleeding is not that heavy anymore, can use those as well. This is my holy grail. This little cup. You might be wondering, what is it? Let me explain. As said, I leaked a lot of milk post-birth, and basically whenever I breastfed. So when you're breastfeeding your child on one side, you can use this and put it in your bra on the other side, and it just catches all the milk. And then you can take said milk, put it in something like this. These are like little bags where you can just put the milk in, store and freeze. I always had so much milk that my son never really took a bottle, so I just used them for baths, but might as well catch it, even if it is just to not always have a fully wet shirt. Then I have this. I really loved it. It's just some lotion that you put on your breasts when you start breastfeeding. I thought it was helpful. It was quite painful for me in the beginning, but it was okay. Everything bleeded a couple of days and then I was good. Then I bought some nursing tea. Some people say it helps, others say it doesn't. I had such high supply that I needed to stop drinking all of this because it was just getting too much. However, I really like this also just taste-wise, so might as well have some at home. I knew I'd forgotten a couple of things, so here are a couple more things. I'm gonna bring 2 of these just for the baby. They have them at the hospital, but as said, we also have to make our way home at some point. So gonna bring those. And then this is also for things I'm not gonna bring, but are super helpful. This is filled with like cherry stones. Is it stone? I think. Like the thing that's inside the cherry, the part that you can't eat. The kernel. I think that's what it's called. I really like this with my son because you can put it in the microwave and then it gets nice and warm. I also use this with my son. This is such a good hack. If you want to go out and it's super cold, you can put this in the stroller with the child and it'll just kind of like heat them. You obviously have to make sure that it's not too hot, but just like a little warm. And I also like to put this in his bed before he lays in so that it's nice and cozy. And I think I'm going to do that with my daughter as well. So this is another great one. And then, God, I'm a little embarrassed. This box is so beaten because we've used it with my son. But there's still some in here. This might be, some people might think that this is super weird. But this saved me several times. This is organic raw wool. And it is super high in fat. So whenever my son had like a diaper rash or anything, I put this in, just like lay it inside the fresh diaper, and it helps wonders. It's the best thing because it is breathable, yet it gives them all the lotion moisture that they need. So that's another one. But yeah, I feel like that is it. I feel like we've made it through everything that I'm bringing and everything that I'm using. So yeah, when you're seeing this video, she's probably already here. I really hope you enjoyed it. It's so exciting. Man, it's all getting real. Today is Friday and she's due Tuesday in 2 weeks. So like 10 more days. The excitement is growing and yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I would love you. But yeah, I wanted to thank you for spending time with me today. Thank you for also watching these videos. The amount of people who watches the Wednesday videos is a lot smaller than the people who watch the Sunday videos, but I always feel a little more closer to you because you're here for my life as well. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I would love you to give it a thumbs up and maybe even share it with a friend. It supports me, it supports the channel, and it would truly mean the world. If you're watching this about to give birth, let me just tell you, go on a little tangent here, but I always see people online speaking so, I don't want to say bad about birth, and I don't want to take this away from anyone, but I feel like a lot of people share their negative experiences with giving birth, and my heart breaks for them. So I just want to say I had a great experience with my son. I think I'm gonna have a good experience again. Yeah, it's all gonna be fine. That's all that I'm gonna tell you. You just have to, I know this is stupid advice, I really do. But it's all I can give you. It's gonna hurt, it's gonna be shitty for a minute, but it's gonna be okay afterwards. You're gonna get there, it's all gonna be fine. Also, I got a lot of questions about whether I'm gonna go with an epidural or not. I haven't fully decided yet. With my son, I kind of went in with a very open thought, and I think I'm gonna do the same thing. So might get one, might not. I'll tell you everything. If you wanna know about my birth, let me know and I can make a video. I'm just gonna decide on whatever feels right in the moment. But yeah, I hope you have a beautiful day. Go out, enjoy the sunshine. Take yourself some time to focus on you and your mental health today, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, dolls!